So in today's video, I just sort of wanted to just go over some Ark news and just sort of be like, well, what's happening in the world of Ark? Because I really haven't looked into it. And from Wildcard, from the latest community crunch, they're saying the centre's releasing on June the 4th, which genuinely is pretty soon. If I do the math in my head, just give me a second. It's 13 days from now. I think if I got that wrong, then that's just going to be sad. Basic arithmetic, guys. But yeah, that's going to come along very soon, and I'll probably do some sort of video just checking into it, or I might not. The centre's not one of my favourite Ark maps. If it is one of yours, I'm glad for you, because you're going to get an ASA version of it, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely incredible. Yeah, the bugs are still going to be present, but I think at this point we kind of just have to expect it, and that is just Ark in general. There is no version of Ark out there that is free of bugs. Even PixArk, I know no one talks about that game now, it is practically dead. I still actually quite like that game though. It's an enjoyable one for me, although definitely at this point kind of dead in the water. I'd like to see some revival of that at some point. Yeah, even that game is full of the bugs too, so you know, you can't really get away with it. It's the Ark curse, I guess. Also, we're getting two new creatures, the Ceratosaurus and the Zafactinus. I really like the Zafactinus just as a creature. I've, like in Feed and Grow Fish, if you know that game, that's quite a prevalent creature in that one. And also just Zafactinuses are cool, and these two new creatures are definitely going to be ones which are going to be just fantastic to use. I don't know why I'm saying going to be so much, but there we go. Hey ho, I guess. That is going to be just an amazing thing that is going to happen in the game. I can't wait for these two creatures to come out. I'm sorry about some sort of Scorched Earth top 10 as well. I will get round to doing that. I've just had a lot going on musically at the moment, so if you are wondering about those kind of videos, it's because I don't really have the time to record the b-roll for them, and at some point I'll lost it in the next couple of days. Half term is coming around, so I'll try and finish it over then. But I'm also making a move in the channel to produce even more content every day, because I'm raising some money for some musical things, and let's say I just need a little bit more inflow over the next year to be able to actually get to these goals and afford what I need to, because at the end of the day, most of my income from this, just in general that I have, does come from this channel, and it's quite a fair bit. And I do thank all of you guys for just being really supportive of the channel. I really can't appreciate it enough. You've done so much good for this channel, and it's amazing to see what we can do as a channel. So it will be 3 videos a day, and that might be good for you, or it might not be good for you. And for the people that just say I'm spamming out content, yeah, you could technically say that, but you know, that's just how I'm going to run my channel. If you have a channel and you know, you say that to me and you say, well, I could make much better content, and you make much better content, then fine, I will gladly agree with you. But if you're someone that just isn't in the YouTube space and you don't make any kind of content and you make those kind of comments, I would say think about it, because you're not really in the space, and unless you're in the space, you never really actually know how things are going to pan out, because it's just something which you haven't experienced really. You may have experienced watching loads of content and you'll be like, well, that's easy, and to an extent it kind of is, to be honest. You know, it's way easier than your general 9-to-5 job, but getting up and getting the confidence to do some of these things is something which you have to build over time. Because if you look at me a year ago making YouTube videos, I sound like a dying rat, and to some of you I might still sound like that, but I feel like I have vastly improved over, you know, the since this channel's creation, which it's been over a year at this point, and I'm just again so grateful for all the progress we made. But I think we're going to end that rant there, because I don't really need to give you more attention, but I just maybe think about that, I would say. Also, just in terms of, you know, there's a Factinus where it's going to spawn, it's just like open ocean, it says, and this might just overtake the Moser as a creature. It's just going to be like the new big thing. There's a Lezixies in the background of the poster as well. I'm looking at the poster at the moment. You can go and look at those as well, just on the general community crunch, if you do want to just see what I'm looking at. You know, sometimes they look a little bit goofy. There's a picture with the inflatable dino costume. That looks a little bit goofy. But Ark is a bit of a goofy game at the end of the day. I'm all here for the goof, to be honest. And also, just as another general thing that I want to talk about, does anyone have sort of an issue with, you know, ASA dinos as a whole? Because I feel like the dinos that you'll find on ASA just aren't really, not the dinos, sorry, the player character is not really very desirable in a way. Like, the characters on Ark Survival Evolved look way less goofy and comic in a way compared to the characters that you're going to be finding on Ark Survival Ascended. I just feel that way. You might not feel that way whatsoever, but I want you to comment down below. What do you think of the characters that you find in Ark Survival Ascended? Because I'm not really the fondest of them. Just in my opinion, they're not really what I'm after as just a general whole, as a general thing, I guess. They just look a little bit comic to me. I guess maybe that's sort of a play at the animated series in a way, but some of the animations really just don't really look as good as Survival Evolved. I know it's not really a very strong point. Doesn't mean I hate the game in any remark, because I'm still very impressed with what the devs have done with Ark Survival Ascended. It's a very decent game in its own right, and it does a lot of things which Ark Survival Evolved could never do, and manages to bring that to us as well. And although maybe the performance isn't the best, although some of you have been saying you've been loving the performance and it's far better than Survival Evolved, yeah, if you're a console player you can definitely say that, because a lot of console Survival Evolved stuff has been not the greatest. But at least Survival Ascended hasn't come to Switch, because then we're going to end up with some, is it like Galaxy Note 7? Was that the one, the phone that just blew up all over the place? I think that was the one, wasn't it? You're going to end up with a Galaxy Note 7 situation. I don't think that's really what we want, do we? But the Switch wouldn't really be capable of running Ark Survival Ascended. That's not really a... It's not really a thing I think it was intended for. Either way, they might be able to run it on the Switch too. We'll have to really see what happens. Also, going along with new funding of things of the channel as well, if you just want to keep an update of that. I'm just using it to buy some saxophones for myself, because I'm a musical guy and I play some saxophones. I also play bass as well, but I'm sorted in the bass situation, so I'm spending an amount on some saxes, and you're probably not going to see an incredible increase in PC specs over the next year, because I'm going to be putting all of my money into that, because I'm going for like some of the best, the cream of the crop, you could say, really, because, you know, I'm not going to be buying a 4090 or anything. I might buy one next year. I can afford one, but I don't really feel like it's going to be leagues better than the 3090, and also a new CPU would far benefit me at the moment. Same as a new motherboard too, and probably some more RAM, which that would come first before the 4090, because, you know, blowing 1,700 quid on a graphics card is a bit nah, when I could spend that much on a really nice new motherboard, CPU and RAM, and way more storage to go along with it.